tutorial showing you how to navigate a Zoom meeting once you are in it. Here I am, I'm in a meeting with myself where my iPad is the host and I'm the participant, so I'm playing the role of student now. And I just want to show you some of the basic features so you can make the most out of your Zoom meetings with your teachers. First thing I want to make you aware of is in the bottom left. This is a great tool to mute and unmute yourself. Note, generally, a best practice is to keep your microphone muted unless you are ready to speak. You don't want any background noise to interfere with the verbal part of your class. You can also choose to stop and start your video. You can see it on the top of the screen, starting and stopping. One thing I'll make a note of is generally your teachers may ask you to keep your video on so that you can be present and engaged with your class, but there may be the moment when you do need to turn it off. I also want to draw your attention up here, the gallery versus speaker view. The gallery view makes all of the meeting participants show up in a grid so you can see everyone's faces at once. The speaker view means only the person who was most recently speaking is going to show up on a big screen, and everyone else will show up in small thumbnails up here. Your teacher may ask you to use one of those options. A couple other things. On the bottom, we have a few buttons here. The participants button will toggle on and off the participants window. The chat button will toggle on and off the chat window. Let's see what we can do in these windows. The participants window has some options here for you to engage non-verbally with the class and its people. Raising hand digitally is a really great idea. Click it once and the host of the meeting will get a notification that says, this student has raised their hand. Your teachers may ask you to do this if you ever want to digitally raise your hand. Pressing it again will lower your hand. There are also some other non-verbal buttons you may press, and under more, there are even, more of them, and they will put a little icon next to your name that the teacher and other participants can see. But especially they may ask you, hey, are we ready to go? And you could say, yes. I'm ready to go. A couple other things you can do. If I hover my mouse over myself, I can mute myself. But there's a few more things I can do, especially rename. Let's keep our names appropriate. Perhaps your, name, but maybe you want to put your pronouns at the end of your name. Or your teacher may ask you to rename yourself to help them organize students and put them into breakout rooms. They can say, if you're looking to read a document, write document and then your name. If you're looking to watch a movie, write movie, then your name. So for instance, I could rename myself to document Benji, and then the teacher can very easily sort students that way. Down here is the chat feature, and clicking on this little blue area will allow you to choose to whom to chat. Your teacher may have adjusted settings so that you may chat only with particular people. Oftentimes it will be just to the host of the meeting, the teacher. But sometimes you can chat with everyone. And anytime you want to write a chat, you can just write your chat here, and there will be an ongoing chat box. Let's see. If you ever want to share your screen, you can share your screen as such. There are a couple tutorials on how to do this, so I don't want to go into too much depth, but this allows students with their computer, and also on the iPad, to share maybe anything on their computer that would be helpful for them to share. So I wanted you to be aware of that. It may be the case that your teacher is sharing, and the teacher may actually ask you to do some annotation. So I want to show you what that looks like. When someone else starts sharing, oftentimes it will automatically take you into full screen mode. I want to let you know that on the top of your screen, there are these view options, which might be really helpful. A couple of things that might be nice are, one, I really like side-by-side mode. I also really like exiting full screen. For me, it's a little bit more easy to navigate. And if annotation is enabled, which it appears it's not, here would be the opportunity to annotate, which means draw on the screen. And I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. I'm going to reclaim the host. I'm going to stop their share. I'm going to do a little sharing. I'm going to share a whiteboard in this case. And annotating allows you to, draw on the screen. So that's something you can do anytime anyone is sharing a screen. Okay, folks, That was a brief crash course on how to navigate a Zoom meeting when you're in it, especially as a student, so that you can engage fully in these classes. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you enjoyed.